welcome to another short yoga practice with Toni. I'm so glad that you decided to join me, and I hope that this practice will give you some calmness, some clarity, some comfort. So I want to remind you all that I'm sitting on a small pillow. I have another pillow off to the side here that may be something more like what is available to you. You can sit on that. This elevates your hips and helps your knees fall down a little bit. So find something and somehow to sit that is comfortable for you for a few moments. We'll start our practice by closing our eyes. We'll drop our hands down onto our thighs with our palms open to the sky, bringing the index finger and thumb together and drawing our attention inward. Let us, at the very beginning, choose an intention for our practice today. Something that you would like to draw into your life through your practice. Maybe it's calmness, maybe it's compassion, understanding, acceptance. Whatever your intention is, hold it in your heart. And then as we spend a few moments listening to our bodies, let's pay attention to those areas that may be speaking to you. Areas that may be sore or tight, areas that may have an injury, or areas that may have a chronic ailment. Just listen and honor. Let me remind you that in our yoga practice, we don't push through pain of any kind. If we're comfortably uncomfortable, that's fine, but if we're in pain, we back away from a pose right away. And now move your attention to your breath. Take a few deep inhales through your nose. Imagine you can see your lungs filling with golden light and positive energy. And a few slow exhales through the nose, imagining that you can see your lungs emptying as the negative energy and silver light goes out into the atmosphere. Doing your best to keep your focus on your breath throughout your practice. And then let us bring our hands together in front of our hearts. You're taking a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, bowing your head to your heart. Let us lift the head and drop the arms at our sides. You can open your eyes, or you can keep them closed. Inhale and take the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, bring your hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, take those arms up, keeping the palms together, and exhale, let them fall out around you. This time we'll inhale and take the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down in front of your heart. And when we inhale up, we keep the hands together as we draw the arms together. And exhale and take them out. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release your arms to your sides. One more time, just like that, inhaling. Exhaling, drawing your hands to your heart center. Inhaling, bringing the hands up and the elbows together. And exhaling, taking them back out. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, release your arms at your sides. Let's keep the right hand down on the floor and lift the left arm up. Inhaling, we reach. Exhaling, plant that right hand and reach over with your left arm. Inhale, come back up. Take that left hand down. Plant the hand, reach up with the right arm. Exhale and lean over to the other side. Good. Inhale, come up. Once more, right hand comes down. Left arm reaches over. Try to keep your chest open rather than falling forward. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, take it to the other side. Good. Inhale, come up. We're going to take a twist to the right now. So take your left hand to your right thigh, your right hand behind you. Inhale as you extend your spine. Exhale, look back over your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. We'll take that same twist to the left. So right hand on left thigh, left hand behind you. Inhale as you reach, and exhale as you take your twist. Once more on each side, inhaling. Exhaling, twisting to the right, left hand on your thigh, right hand behind you. Inhale as you reach up with the crown of the head, and exhale as you take your twist. Good. Inhale back to center, and exhale. We'll do that same thing on the left. So reaching up, exhaling, looking back over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center, and exhale. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. So our spine is meant to move in 6 different ways. So let us take to the last of those ways to warm up our spine. So bring your hands down onto your knees, holding on. Let's inhale and pull our chest forward, looking up where the wall and ceiling meet approximately. Drop your chin, let your shoulders fall forward, tuck your tailbone underneath, and look down between your legs. Inhale, come forward again, arching the back, looking up toward the wall and the ceiling where they meet, and exhaling and rocking back. One more time. Inhale, arching, pull those shoulders back, shoulder blades together, and exhale, shoulders fall forward, tuck the tailbone and look down. And then just come all the way back up to a comfortable seat, and let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts again. So we're going to take some more movements. All of these movements are going to be on the floor today. So if you are uncomfortable being on the floor, go to my previous video that was all in a chair and find what you can do in that video. So let's inhale and take those arms up overhead. Lace your fingers once you get to the top. Press your palms up. And then bring your hands down in front of your heart and press your palms forward. Release your fingers as you reach around behind you and take your fingers back together behind your back, pressing the knuckles down and opening your heart. Maybe you can lean back a little bit and touch those knuckles down on the floor or your mat, and then come all the way back up. And this time we're going to lean forward. So just reaching out in front of you, trying to keep the spine long. Walk your fingers forward. If you're up here and this is your edge and this is as far as you can go, then that's where you stay. If you have a little more flexibility, you can take it out just a little farther. Okay? And then let's inhale. And on the exhale, just bend your elbows a bit. See if you can bring yourself a little more forward. Inhale, stretch those arms long. Exhale, bend the elbows. Keep the head aligned with the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to inhale and come all the way back up. Let's take the arms up overhead. And this time as we fold forward, we're going to rock onto our knees and come to hands and knees. And now that we've made our way down onto our hands and knees, let's make sure that the wrists are right under the shoulders and the knees are right under the hips. And we'll move through what is known as cow and cat postures, which we did seated in the chair in our last video, and we did seated on the floor in this one. So let's inhale, press your hands firmly into the floor, point your tailbone up and lift your head looking forward, and then round your spine as you tuck the tailbone underneath the pelvis, dropping your head. Look back between your knees. Keep pressing those hands firmly into the floor to help you move, and take it at your own pace. Just a little continuation of the spinal warm-up. And then coming back to a flat tabletop position, let's slide that right foot back behind us and tuck the toes. Press your heel toward the back of your mat as you reach forward with the crown of the head. Try not to sink into your shoulders, but press your hands down firmly and lift your shoulders away from your ears. And then let's lift that right leg. And keeping the foot flexed, let's lift the left arm. Spreading the fingers wide, thumb pointing at the ceiling. And let's just hold here for a couple of breaths, working on balance. It's a little bit of a balance challenge. And then bring that left hand and right knee down, and we'll take it to the other side. So slide that left foot back, tuck your toes, pressing that heel away, reaching forward with the upper body and back with that left foot. And then let's lift the left leg, reaching out behind us, keeping the foot flexed. Let's take the right arm out in front of us, thumb facing up, holding for a couple of breaths, and then bringing that right hand and left knee down. This time we're going to take that right leg back behind us, point your toes, and then just pull your toes in so you're pointing with the ball of the foot this time. And take your left arm out in front of you, same position. Good, and let's inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to draw the knee and the elbow together. Let's inhale and reach out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, bring the hand and the knee down. We'll take it to the other side. So lifting the left leg behind you with the toes pointed, and then pulling the toes toward you, pointing with the ball of the foot, and then taking the right arm out in front of you. Let's inhale as we stretch, and exhale as we fold. Inhale, stretch, and exhale, fold. Inhale, stretch, and exhale, fold. And let's reach out with the left leg and the right arm, and then bring them back down. Again, keeping your knees right under your hips, let's push our hips back toward our heels. And see if we can get the hips all the way down on the heels, even if you have to slide your hands back closer to you. And then once your hips are settled, then walk your arms forward as far as you can, and see if you can reach the floor with your forehead. And then come back up onto hands and knees. And we're going to take our hips off to one side, and we're going to come up to a seated position, bringing our legs out in front of us. So maybe your knees need a little massage, or maybe your legs need a little bounce just to release some of the tension from them. We're going to come to another position. All of these are going to be seated, and we're going to bring the left foot in and press it to the inside of the right leg. Okay, and the hands are on either side of your right leg, and your toes are pointed up, but you're not flexing your foot. Okay, so it's just a little tension in that right foot. So let's inhale here, and on the exhale, I just want you to walk your hands forward a few inches. Okay, this is called head of the knee pose, or in Sanskrit, Janu Shavasana, and it's a great stretch for the inner thigh, the outer hip, the hamstrings, those muscles in the back of the upper leg, And then let's see if we can walk them a few inches more and perhaps plant your palms on the floor. Now, what we want to avoid doing here is hinging at the waist and folding like this, because that puts your lumbar spine at risk. So if your challenge is right here, almost upright, or right here, totally upright, then that's where you stay. We don't do things that are not appropriate for our bodies. So just holding for a moment, taking a few breaths. The important thing is to focus on your breath and not hold it. And then we're going to slide the hands back in. We're going to take a twist from here. So we're going to take that right hand over to the outside of the left leg, and we'll take the left hand behind us, very similar to what we did earlier, only it's possibly a little deeper this time. So let's inhale as we reach up and exhale as we turn and look back over that left shoulder. And then coming all the way back around, and let's stretch that left leg out and bring the right foot into the inside of the left thigh, letting that knee fall open. Now, if you have discomfort in your knee or your hip here, you can always slide a pillow under it like I have here. This is my pillow that I use most of the time. It's a special yoga pillow, or if you have a pillow off of your sofa or off of a chair, you can just slide that under your knee to make it more comfortable. So don't hesitate to use any props that you have. Let's sit tall on our inhale, and on the exhale, walk your hands forward just a little bit, keeping that spine nice and long. And just take it to your edge. So your edge is this side of pain. So being a little uncomfortable is not a problem, but being in pain in any yoga pose is really not acceptable. So don't put yourself there. Maybe walking your fingers forward just a few more inches, aligning the head with the spine. I know I'm looking up at you, but keeping the neck long, keeping the back long is important. And then letting your hands come back in toward you, and taking your left hand over to the outside of the right leg, pressing the right hand into the floor behind you. Inhale as you lift, and exhale as you twist. And then come back to center and stretch that right leg out. Give your knees a little rub, your legs a little shake. Okay. And then we're going to do one more seated posture before we come down on our backs. So take your feet, bring the soles of them together, reach around your toes or your ankles with your hands, and slide your heels in. And then notice that I'm slumped down. Let's lift our chest, lift ourselves up, stretching those inner thighs. This is Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. And let's not hold our breath. So I know some of these poses that may be new to you, you may feel very challenged and you may find yourself not breathing. I'd rather have you breathing than in the pose. Okay, let's release that. Let's bring the knees together, walk your feet out in front of you. Take your hands behind you and just rock your knees from side to side a few times. Good. And then we're going to stretch out lengthwise on our mats, on our backs. So bringing yourself down safely, using your hands, or if you want to challenge yourself, maybe coming down, slowly reaching forward, maybe stretching your legs out, coming down slowly. And when you're all the way down, lift your arms high overhead, point the toes, let your back lift up off the floor, your low back. And then let's bring the right knee into the chest. point and flex your toes a few times and make some circles with your ankle. And taking it both directions. And then we're going to bend the left knee and we'll take the right ankle across the knee. So we have this little window, triangle-shaped window between our legs. Press your right hand into that right knee, pushing it slightly away. And then we're going to lift the left foot up off the floor. This may be enough for you. Stop here if it is. If you want a little more, slide that right hand between your legs, take hold of the back of your left leg, and take hold of your right hand with your left and pull that knee in just a little closer. Definitely a major stretch for that right hip. If you're feeling pain in your knee here, flex your right foot. That will protect the knee. And then bring your left foot down as you unthread your needle. This is called Eye of the Needle pose, and bring that right foot down. And then slide your legs all the way out. Let's inhale the arms high overhead. And on our exhale, we'll draw the left knee in this time. Pressing on your shin, pointing and flexing, and making some circles. Be sure to go both directions. And then bend your right knee, bring your foot to the floor, and take your left ankle across that knee, and push away with your left hand so that you open that leg out to the left, and then lift your right foot up off the floor. This may be plenty for you. Or if you want to thread the needle, take your left hand through this time. Take hold underneath the right leg with both hands and pull that leg in a little closer, remembering that pain is not our friend. So we don't take it to a point where we feel pain of any kind. And then we unthread the needle. We bring that foot down. We slide that left leg all the way out, slide the right leg all the way out. And then I'm going to show you a restorative pose. It's called Legs Up the Wall, and you can do this next to a wall. But for doing it without a wall, bring your feet to the floor, press them in, lift your hips a few inches, slide your hands underneath your bottom with your palms facing down. And then as you lower your hips onto your hands, take your legs up in the air. So a restorative pose called Viparita Karani, or Legs Up the Wall pose. And this is something you could do every day. Taking some of the work away from your heart. Doesn't have to pump as hard to get that blood flowing into it. And then bending your knees, rocking from side to side to release your hands, and then bringing your feet down. Let's walk our feet out the width of our mat, toes facing forward. Take your arms out in a T position. And let's rock our knees off to the right and bring them back up and rock them off to the left. And this time when you bring them up and rock them up to the right, turn your head to the left and bring them back up, and turn your head to the right as you rock your knees to the left. You can do this anytime you want. It's a great way to release tension from the low back. And then go ahead and bring your knees back up. Heel toe your feet in a little closer. And we're going to rest. This is called Shavasana, our final resting pose. Bring your arms down at your sides. Roll your palms open to the sky. And if you want to keep your knees bent, I suggest walking your feet wider than your knees and letting your knees rest together in the middle. If you're more comfortable with your legs stretched out, go ahead and do that. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips. Let your feet relax completely. And then draw your attention inward. Listening to your body. Feeling the sensations you are experiencing. Allowing yourself to sink just a little deeper into the earth with each exhale. Keeping your eyes closed. Keeping your focus on your breath. Allow yourself these last moments of your practice to lie in rest. And now begin to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe move your wrists and ankles. Maybe rock your head from side to side. And then let us all take our arms high overhead, stretching our bodies long from fingertips to toes. And then draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a low back massage by rocking from side to side. And then make your way to one side, carefully bringing yourselves up to a comfortable seat, still with your eyes closed if possible. And then bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Pressing the thumbs into the heart center, take just a moment to reconnect with the intention that you set for your practice today. I hope that you received from your practice what you intended. I hope you will hold that in your heart for today, for tomorrow, for the weeks to come. Thank you for joining me and sharing your practice. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to those around you. And please stay safe and stay well. We lift our hands to the third eye center and we say together, Namaste.